What is going on, everyone? My name's Alpha, and today we'll be making another tier list, but this time it's on the Pokemon games. Every main series game, except including Let's Go, will be ranked, and this will be the definitive list because there's a lot of bad opinions out there, and this is to crack down on them. So let's obviously start at the bottom. So I believe Let's Go is the worst. The worst. And to accompany that, I think Pokemon Yellow is at the bottom as well. Now let me explain. Pokemon Yellow is not the same as Red and Blue. Yellow gives you a Pikachu, right? And also gives you 3 other starters, consequently removing all the choice and decision in the beginning stages of Pokemon games, because it gives you no option of choosing what you want as for a Pokemon. And it gives you 3 starters. If you put all those starters on your team, that's 4 Pokemons. 4 Pokemons off a start, just given to you. Because who's gonna really say no to a free starter? Exactly. So that's why it's at the bottom. It removes decision making, and it makes Kanto worse, and that's a definitive fact. Now, speaking of Kanto, I think Red and Blue can arguably be said that it's been aged well. I say it's not even the best Kanto region game, because the best Kanto region game is Fire Red and Leaf Green, which is A tier. This fixes all the problems from this game. It gives you choices and it doesn't hold your hand. This is the best pure Kanto game. But the game that has Kanto in it that is the best is Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Great game filled with content from beginning to start to the after game. And like most Generation 4 will put it up there because they love it. This is backwards because this is supposed to be last or something, right? The more you like it, it's supposed to be to the left, right? I believe that's how it makes. We're just gonna say that Let's Go is the worst. That's all we're keeping at. Now next is Ruby and Sapphire, which I think it's in the same tier as that. Arguably it's really diluted, and it's just, why would you pick this over Emerald, where Emerald gives you both the legendaries, and gives you a better plot. It gives you both sides of both leaders fighting each other, and you also fighting the leaders, because you don't really fight Maxie and Sapphire, you don't fight Archie and Ruby, and they seem like the bad guys are kind of good guys in those games, so that's awful. Don't like that. That's why there's a wonderful battle frontier in Emerald. So A tier easily. Could be S tier, could be a candidate for S tier. We're gonna have to see. Ooh, this is gonna seem really biased. Ooh. Do I put it here? I want to put it here, but I know, I understand that it's a fine game. It's that, but like out of date. This is really out of date. It lacks a lot of stuff. Didn't age really well. There's some things you don't really come back to play. You come back to play this one though. I say this one is a fine middle ground to put at B tier. Crystal doesn't do too much different from Gold and Silver, but it does enough to fix all the small things you don't really like, because you want both legendaries and you get both of them in Crystal. You also get a Suicune. The main plot is revolved around Suicune, which is more interesting. Usain's completely obsessed with it. I understand that Team Rocket's not really a big factor in it. They are there. It's kind of like you get the wings and stuff. It's not. You get the bells and stuff. Not a big deal, but Usain really tops it off and makes the Suicune memorable. A tier definitely for Diamond and Pearl. Again, the biggest flaw with them is that they're slow, and the mechanics are really slow. The speed is slow, and all that is just the feature of the game, because Platinum's up there. Platinum fixes everything, includes more Pokemon, includes the availability of getting all the new Sinnoh evolution Pokemons, which Diamond and Pearl lacks a lot. But Sinnoh and all, you can call what it will, overrated or whatnot. I do believe that it's not perfect. There's definitely flaws, but Platinum has a Battle Frontier. There's a great story to it, and it has a bunch of cool Pokemon to it, so I think it deserves S tier rank easily. I still believe this is the most complete game out there. A bit easy on the easy side, but it's still a great game. X and Y, I do love X and Y, but I do see the flaws of it. Very easy. Story's not really memorable, but the jump from Generation 5 to this, it is astounding. And I do not know why I skipped Generation 5 and just jumped to Generation 6, but it is amazing to see the jump in graphics. Obviously the 3DS, you know, new hardware, but it's a great jump. Black and White, I'll put it. Now, this might be a controversial thing, but I don't believe Ultra Sun and Moon was that good of a game. They really messed with the character I liked the most, which is Lucamine, more of an anti-villain, which she was more of a villain, and that's why Sun and Moon gets an A tier. But they really pushed the 3DS to its limits, and you could tell from the game it's a bit slow. It's gonna cause its S tier ranking. It would be up there, but if I'm gonna deduct points from Diamond Pearl for being slow, then Sun and Moon has to be deducted as well. And speaking of that, Ultra Sun and Moon is slow. Really fucks with the story. Makes Lily's transformation a little, in my opinion, makes Lily's transformation really less important. Really cops out from what Sun and Moon was. Sun and Moon was really emotional. I really enjoyed the story of Sun and Moon. I hate the story of Ultra Sun and Moon because it just really shits on everything from what Sun and Moon built. I wish it was a continuation what Black and White did with Black and White. So I think that's the biggest problem from that. Oras, look, I'm gonna put it here in the middle tier. Oras was an amazing step up from Sapphire and Ruby, but it did so many things that I just didn't like. It gave you a legendary for free. It just gave you Latias. You don't have to search for Latias or Latios. It just gave it to you, and it's Mega Evolution. What's the point in that? What's the point in legendaries if you just get handed out to you during the story mode? Like, I understand mystery gift. Yeah, you're getting it because you know it's an event Pokemon, but this is part of the game. You're being given it. You haven't done anything. You stop Team Skull. You stop Team Magma. You stop Team Aqua for a little bit. Cool. You get granted one of the strongest Pokemons in the game at level 35, which is absurd. I do not like that. And then with that, the Eon Flute, it completely makes HMO2 fly irrelevant. So why is it even in the game if that's gonna be there? You don't get fly into after the Eon Flute, so I don't understand that. Oras did include a lot of good Mega Evolutions, but they could have been just in X and Y, and then I wouldn't have anything to care about in Oras. The only thing I do care about is the Delta missions, but you cannot build a game off of the after game. You cannot just simply say the after game pulls everything for it. It is a great after game. The Delta episodes are basically Emerald incorporated into this, which is fantastic. I love that. But everything else, there's a big flaw to it, and I do not like that. And finally, we're going to step both the Black White games. Now, people argue this is S tier, and I just can't say. I just can't say it's S tier. I believe it's A tier. I believe it's a really good game, and is a great continuation, amazing continuation. But this game's S tier, not the other way around. I don't like the sequel as much as the prequel. Why? Number one, this made me relive Pokemon. It made everyone relive Pokemon because there was not a single returning Pokemon that you could find. So you had to learn the game of You had to learn the concept of Pokemon once again. You have to test out which one is good and which one's bad. One of the reasons why people love ROM hacks so much is that people are dropped into a new world of imagination and with new creatures to discover. That's why people love ROM hacks. One of the biggest reasons people love ROM hacks. And that's what Black and White is. Black and White is essentially a Game Freak ROM hack. It's given to you for you to explore. That's why they included a lot of post games. The post games on these games are really good. If you guys never played them, there's a lot of stuff to do. You have to capture the sages. You can fight Volcarona. You could fight a ridiculous amount of legendaries. There's Cynthia battle, the the tempo to battle, new routes to discover after the games. In both games, and you know, exploring the same region might be boring, but it's both. If you play both of them, they're out of order. There's some new gyms, there's some new faces, new characters, more involved characters, and that's why they're probably the best intertwined games. I'm gonna have to make a decision. I have to move something down to B tier because I think this is really top heavy, and I don't like that. I think I have to move something down, and I'm gonna have to put my pride down and say X and Y is not as good as the other ones up there. It's not as timeless. It does get boring and repetitive. I've tried to replay it and I did get bored multiple times. So I do not. I'll put my pride down and say that X and Y is not as good as the rest of those. So that is my list, and that is the definitive list for Pokemon. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you are new, comment down what your tier list of Pokemon games down below. I'll leave this link in the description so you guys can make your own. My name's Ben Alpha, and I'm out.